The JERD Nation Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the JERD Nation Podcast here on GGTV. We are here. We got the boys are ready. We got Sam, Cody, and Mark. Say hey, guys.
What up?
What's up?
If you guys haven't done it already here on YouTube, please remember to subscribe. Hit that little bell notification button so you're always notified when we put out new episodes here or there or everywhere. So yeah, and then if you're watching on Facebook, go like the page, go follow the page, and share the crap out of it. So let's just get right to this thing, guys. We're going to talk about the NFL, and the question about the NFL right now is which team in the NFL is the real deal, and which team in the NFL are the posers. Mark, Cody, I'm going to start with you on this one, brother.
I think the easy choice for me would be I have to say the Bucks, man. I mean, Brady's starting to look like 2008 Tom Brady. Looks like he hasn't missed a step. I would say their defense is stellar. Kind of looks a little questionable against the Giants. Yeah, I would say they're the real deal, and they're getting AB this weekend against the Saints. I know Pittsburgh is 7-0, but I don't know that I'm sold on it.
Do you think that the Steelers are the reason why they don't look like the real deal? Do you think it's because they haven't been really challenged yet?
Yeah, I think that has a little bit to do with it. You know, like, and I could be wrong. You know, that's kind of the thing with sports is you just kind of the eye test. I don't know what it is. I mean, these last couple games they haven't looked bad, but there's something that seems off. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what seems off about the Steelers, but I'm not buying into it.
Yeah. So you're saying those Steelers are the posers?
Yep, that's who I got for the posers.
That's a good one. All right, Mark, what do you think, my man?
Well, I tell you what, I've been doing a lot of thinking and watching a lot of games with the NFL Sunday Ticket, sponsored by DirecTV. If you have not got it, go check it out. I highly recommend it. To be quite honest, man, I mean, my biggest things as far as I'm going to start with the posers. They kind of got exposed last week. Was the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens is my poser because it came down crunch time. They were playing the Steelers, which is a rival game, and they ended up laying a goose egg because Lamar Jackson still, I mean, he can throw the ball, he can run the ball, but still does not have that killer instinct at the end of the game to go towards the, just have that. He doesn't have the killer instinct to go after the win. In terms of a team that's solid, even though they've dropped a couple games, I'm going to have to go with the Tennessee Titans. They're solid all around. They have a good running game, good quarterback.
Brother.
I had to pull that one out there, but they do have the good, solid running back, great quarterback. But they do lack on their defensive secondary. So I will, slide them a little bit on that. Their defensive secondary is not that great, but as of right now, I mean, I see them as a playoff team. As far as getting very deep in the playoffs, I don't know. It depends on how well their secondary can develop into a pretty good cohesive unit. We'll see as the season goes on. But I could see them winning their division and, possibly winning a game in the playoffs, depending on who they draw in the first round.
Yeah, those are two good teams taking their Mark. All right, Sammy, I can't wait to hear yours.
I've talked a lot of trash about this team, called them a dumpster fire on many occasions, and that's the Miami Dolphins. On a 3-game win streak, they're giving up less points than any other team in the league. They really could be poised to win the AFC East. I mean, the Bills are 6-2, Dolphins are 4-3. It's kind of wide open,
and they have a good scoring defense.
Patriots are 2-5.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Steelers, I kind of agree with that when it comes to posers. Feel like the Steelers are really posing. Their defense is pretty good, and that's keeping them into a lot of games. But I feel like they have a lot to prove. a lot of the good teams that they played, the score's been really close. They just haven't impressed me much. So I kind of put them in the poser category.
Yeah. I agree because they haven't been really, I don't think, tested. The Baltimore should have been more of a test, I think, for them. To me, Mahomes is he's very unique, that once in a lifetime kind of player, because he's that ultimate backyard football player that you always want on your team. I mean, just the things he does, the way he sidearms it, regular throw, just the no look or whatever to behind him somewhere.
And the thing, I'm going to kind of bounce off of you a little bit though with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The thing is with the Chiefs as the team is right now, and me and Cody's talked a lot about this, is after this year that the face of that team is going to change dramatically. Now, if they go into next year and they're setting it, 6-1, 7-1 this time next year, then I'll be impressed with Mahomes, because that means that he's been able to do it without all the weapons around him. Yep. That big fat contract they gave him, they may not have had to give up much this year, but next year is going to be a very different story.
Well, you and I talked about before the Super Bowl last year. We both agreed and said that if the Chiefs didn't win the Super Bowl that season, they probably would not win another one. And then again, they kind of surprised us this year. Is just when that train hit the track, it's like they never missed a beat when they came out.
They find way. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about winning, regardless how you do it. I just feel like they scrape by a lot, man. And the teams that, which I mean, in football, you look at the W, you don't look at the scoreboard. Most people don't,
right,
or the stat sheet. But I don't know, man. I think the playoffs are. I think we'll be kind of shocked to see, because isn't it the AFC? Is the AFC North that the Steelers, Browns, and Ravens are in?
That's
that
right,
division
yep.
That division is all over the place, man, right now. So whoever comes out of it and makes the playoffs, you don't really know what to expect. I mean, it's obviously, I feel like now is set in stone that it's going to be Pittsburgh.
And I think too, with the AFC North, I've been toying with this idea here a couple of days. There could be 3 playoff teams coming out of the AFC North: Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland. I mean, this could be the Browns' year where they squeak into the playoffs.
Well, especially when you look at the deficient AFC South, who I mean, that's the thing. And I wanted to address that because you picked the Titans as I know that's your team, but when you really look at the conferences, the Titans would be dead last in the AFC North at 5-2.
Yeah.
So the AFC South, is really weak conference when you look at team wise and schedule wise and standing wise. So, I couldn't pick anybody out of the AFC South.
I mean, outside of the Colts, I mean, that's really the only main competition for Tennessee this year.
Who do you guys think is the most fun to watch currently?
For me, and it was it was your team who's the real deal, the Buccaneers, because it's the fun team for me to watch / the most surprising, because how fast their chemistry came together at the beginning of the season. I knew there was going to be some hiccups. That first game, it looked great when they, and then they started kind of going downhill. Then all of a sudden uphill, and here, Gronk hasn't seen a catch in 40 days, and I don't know. It was just a dry season for him, and all of a sudden now they're rolling, they're on fire, and I think that chemistry for the Buccaneers has come together a lot faster than I thought it would.
I hate to say it, but Kansas City's fun to watch.
I'll tell you, the team that I've really enjoyed watching is the Cardinals. Man,
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's balling out. They look good. They're on an upward trend.
Shout out to K1.
I really look for them, within the next couple of years to be knocking on the door for a Super Bowl. I really do. I think he can do it. He's talented enough. He's athletic enough. We talked a lot about his size and stuff. We weren't sure how he would hold up, but he still has that freakish speed in the NFL, and that was something I didn't expect to see. He still looks like the fastest guy on the field. He was like that in college, but he looks like that in the NFL too, and man, that's a dangerous combination. And then, he's got a cannon for an arm. So,
Exactly.
I think Arizona's primed.
I think Kyler is extending Larry Fitzgerald's time in the league. To be honest with you, I think we can get another 3 to 4 years out of Larry, and by that time, they could win their division, man. Because Seattle can only be this way for so long, and I don't really know how much longer Russ has. So I think that's really their only hurdle from stopping them from winning their division.
Well, and harping back to the Cardinals, what I would really like to see them do is go out. I would like to see them approach Houston and try to get J.J. Watt. And I say that because J.J. Watt's going to have to get out of Houston if he wants to have 3 or 4 more years, because he is their defense, and he has been their defense for a long time. And if he wants to kind of preserve himself a little bit, he needs to go somewhere where there's some talent. And I could see him in Arizona, leading an already established defense and just elevating it to the level you need to win a Super Bowl.
I think the Texans are the biggest dumpster fire there is right now. I mean, they had the getting rid of their head coach / general manager all in one whack. Then, I mean, people are saying that players aren't happy there. I mean, I don't know. I think that's kind of something's written on the wall there.
I don't know why the Texans couldn't play like this on my birthday last year.
What happened on your birthday last year, Cody?
I paid $300 to watch Josh McDaniels have CTE play calling, and to watch Tom Brady tell his receiver to go right, and the receiver goes left. And then I watched Tom Brady almost have a comeback, but it was a little too late. So, yeah, I paid $300 to watch the GOAT get angry.
Oh,
and then everyone, because keep in mind, when you're at the stadium, you can't see what the TV broadcast is. So everyone was texting me, and they're like, Brady's pissed. And I was like, you don't have to tell me anything because I can see it. Like, I saw him throw his helmet and all that. But, yeah, to answer your question, what happened is the Texans beat the Patriots on my birthday.
That sucks. I'm sorry, dude.
I drove 6 hours and got told to go back to Boston. That's what my buddy and I were told. We got told to go back to Boston.
Okay, so my real deal, put Seattle there. Russell Wilson is definitely a MVP candidate, if not at top list right now. DK Metcalf,
a monster.
Yeah. Is it his second year in the league?
Yeah, second year.
Second year. He keeps developing the way he's doing, and they keep coaching him right, and he keeps trucking along. He's going to be one of the great ones. That dude is a monster. He's athletic. He's just good. And Russell, of course, there's a stipulation with short quarterbacks, and he's the exception to that. And I think Seattle's got a good thing going on, even though I don't like Seattle much.
I think Seattle's defense is completely sus. I think their margin of victory is maybe 5 points a game.
Yep.
And that
they struggled against the 2-5 New England.
Yeah, I mean, they've had kind of a weak schedule. I think Russ can keep them in the end zone. That's not the problem.
Right.
The problem is can the defense really stop anybody? And you look at some of the high-powered offenses they're going to be facing in the playoffs, and I don't think the answer is no. I think the answer is no. I think even right now with the way Miami's trending, I think they'd struggle playing Miami in the playoffs.
You're right about Seattle, man, because it reminds you of back when Manning with the Colts. They were so good so many years offensively. They just never had a defense to take them to the Super Bowl until that year when they played the Bears. And that's why I guess that's what the Seahawks look like right now is great offense, but can the defense carry that team too? That's remain to be seen. But my poser, oh man, I'm gonna go ahead and say Green Bay, and the reason for that, yes, you have Rodgers, and it doesn't matter what, like with Brady, it doesn't matter what receiving core you have around him, he's gonna make them look good, like Lazard and Scanling dude, whatever his name is. He's got like 4 or 5 names on his jersey. And he have Devontae Adams back, which Devontae Adams is a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. But they were exposed playing the Vikings, run against them. Of course, it is Dalvin Cook. but run against them, and they're just look at it. Look what they did. I mean,
and I agree. They were exposed against the Vikings, and then again against the Buccaneers because when you're looking at teams like the Bucks, who's going to be in the playoffs, what was the score, like 38-10? I mean, they just blew them out.
Yeah, it was a beating bad.
That's my poser. I know a lot of we're at 6-2. I know they only lost 2 games, but I don't know.
Did we lose Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch?
No, I'm still here.
Big show, Mark.
No, I'm sitting and looking at my hair in the camera, man. Cody, can I have some of your hair, dude?
All right, here's a very short segment. Your rookie of the year, go.
Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he's already exceeded expectations that anybody had for him. He's done more with Cincinnati this year than Andy Dalton did with them last year.
Yeah.
I think I've said it for 2 years. He's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Cincinnati's on the come up. It's just going to keep getting better and better and better and better.
Will he be rookie of the year? Will they look at him because he's on the Bengals? I mean, what's that? How's that dynamic going to go?
I think
they should. Now, I mean,
that was mine as well, Burrow, because, and I know, don't hate me for this, Cody. I know that when they beat the Browns beat the Bengals twice, they always said that Baker outplayed Burrow. That wasn't the case because Burrow's stats are much, much better, but Baker's on a better team.
Baker's offense doesn't throw as much as Joe Burrow. So, of course, Joe Burrow is going to have 450 yards passing when he's throwing the ball 60, 70 times. But for me, I would say Justin Herbert is who I'm going to pick for rookie of the year.
That's a good one.
And I think unfortunately with the Dak injury, I would have said CD, man. I think CD Lamb would have been would have had a great breakout rookie year. But I mean, with Dak going down, it's kind of hard to do that when they have Ben DiNucci at quarterback.
Who?
Yeah, Ben DiNucci.
DiNucci.
I'll tell you somebody else that kind of comes to mind too, and I don't know how this will play out because of Le'Veon Bell, but I think Clyde from the Chiefs,
Hilaire
was having a great season. He may have actually gotten robbed out of a potential rookie of the year just because of that acquisition, but we'll just have to see how that plays out.
That's our episode for today. What NFL teams we think are the real deal and who are posers. Again, we thank you for watching here on Geek Gorilla TV, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Get out of here. Later. Cut. Okay, no. All right.
What'd you call me?
A cut.
He cut you.